Carlos Correa is one of the players on the Houston Astros, a world champion player, a phenomenal shortstop, an all-around player who is 32 years old, is what I thought. Turns out he's 26. Don't know how that's possible. Feel like he's been around forever. Going to be a free agent at the end of the year, and the Houston Astros have a decision to make. What are you going to do? You've got Verlander out with Tommy John. You've got Zach Greinke getting old. You've got Garrett Cole, who you let go to the Yankees. You've got Altuve, who signed. You re-signed Brantley, let Springer go. You've got a team that is good but not great. Correa is a critical member of your team, playing a hugely important position, both defensively and offensively, top of class. You've got free agent shortstops coming up next year. That is the best free agent shortstop class in history. Corey Seager, Carlos Correa, Javi Baez, Francisco Lindor, Trevor Story. It's unbelievable. If you don't have Fernando Tatis, you are in the market for one of these shortstops. It's why I believe the Mets will come up with an extension with Lindor before the season starts. And it's why the Astros are trying to sign Correa. So when you decide you're going to sign a player, you sit down with the owner and you say, here's our choice. We can let Correa go to free agency, and then we are subject to the whims of teams who may want to throw money at him that we do not think we should throw at him, because you never get the bang for your buck by re-signing your own free agent. You only keep the same team, but you don't improve your season ticket holders. You don't get more corporate revenue. You don't get that lift from signing someone else's free agent. It's always better to sign someone else's free agent when it comes off the field. On the field, if you've got the right guy, it's always better to sign your own free agent because you know him. You've lived with him. You know everything the player can do. You know exactly whether the player's healthy. You know exactly what the player's work habits are. You don't have to rely on hearsay at all. You know with your own eyes, and that is always the best way to value a player. So the Astros are trying to get ahead of the free agent market of shortstops, and they sat down with Correa and said, we have a great deal for you. 6 years, $120 million. I assume that had been a typo. Carlos Correa is much higher than a $20 million player, given where Machado is, given where Lindor is going to be, given where Tatis is. Tatis is a $24 million free agent player, except he wasn't even close to free agency the way Correa is. He doesn't have close to the career Correa has had, not even close. Make sure you understand what I'm saying. Are you ready? Fernando Tatis is not close to the player that Carlos Correa is. Relax. Don't at me at David P. Samson. He's not close to the player in terms of valuing him today as a free agent. That is because Fernando Tatis has 143 games in the big leagues. So by definition, when you pay Tatis, you get a few years pre-arbitration, then you get his arbitration years, then you pay him his free agent money in his free agent years. But by guaranteeing him money now, you get a discount in the free agent years. Manny Machado went to the Padres as a free agent, got $30 million a year. Lindor is going to be a free agent. He's going to beat $30 million. Correa is a free agent. He's going to slip in under Machado. 26 is my guess. Carlos Correa responded to the Houston Astros offer of 120 over 6 with a very telling statement after a spring training game yesterday. Very rare for players to talk about negotiations. Very rare to acknowledge an offer. Even rarer to talk about the size of the offer. That is the size of the problem that the Astros have with Correa. Correa said, the first offer I thought was really low. If that's how they feel about me and that's where we stand, then I guess I will go out there and play. Thank you. And try to win a championship. Thank you. Uh-oh, here comes a bad line. Wait for it. Oh, no, don't say it. Please don't say it. and try to win a championship for the city of Houston before free agency. Uh-oh. Those were words that were chosen carefully by Carlos Correa. He didn't say for the city of Houston, my teammates, and this organization. He said the city of Houston only, and he left it at that. That means he no like the organization. Houston has a problem. They're calling up Ron Howard. They're seeing if they can speak to Tom Hanks, maybe Kevin Bacon. And they're going to say, what do we do now? Here's what you do if you're the Astros and Correa says what he said. You go down and talk to him. If I were the president of the Astros, I'm immediately talking to Correa in person in the clubhouse. And I'm saying, Carlos, we wanted to put an offer on the table to set a floor. We don't want to negotiate with you during the season. I do not see getting to Machado. I do not see getting to 10 years. Where I think this ends is somewhere around 8 at 25, 200 over 8, but that's it. I don't think it's going to change, and you're taking a risk by playing this year, entering your free agency. The risk is that there are not 5 teams who need free agents, shortstops. The risk is that there's a work stoppage and that owners have a change in how business is done after the work stoppage or a new collective bargaining agreement. And I am trying to explain to the player what the positives are and what the negatives are. I'm telling him that he shouldn't be insulted, but there is still meat left on the bone. That's an expression for there's still money left to give. But I'm going to be honest with my player, because there's no screwing around with Correa. You say the most I'm getting to is 200, and that's it. I can't go higher than 8. If you're in, let's get this done. Let's celebrate, and let's go try to win another championship and do it without cans and without stealing signs. Are you in or are you out? I just don't think the Astros are going to do that. I really don't. However, wait to see is when I tell you something's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, we'll revisit it. If it does happen, we'll revisit it. We will revisit every one of the wait to sees, and we are at episode 339. We do it almost every show. Carlos Correa is not leaving the Astros. When they let Springer go, that was them saying we're keeping Correa, and he knows it. He will sign with the Astros. I don't know that it'll be before the season starts, but he will sign with the Astros at the end of the day. Not today.